Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. I am Chris the Shrine Dog coming to you from Issaquah, Washington. Kind of figure that since tomorrow is an unload day, I'll take a few minutes after recording my video for today for tomorrow, which is to post on Friday. Thought I'd just take a few seconds to record something because I knew I won't be able to record a whole lot on a delivery day, so I thought I might as well take the time to record Issaquah, Washington, since this will probably be the last time I'll be able to do a vlog from Washington State for a while. I think I explained it in my last video how they are changing things up for me. Well, clarification, they did change up my routes to where originally I was supposed to go to Olympia, Washington, and Shelton, Washington, which is kind of like the Aberdeen area. I was originally supposed to go do a route there, but they changed it up to where I had to come up to Issaquah, Kent, and then University Place, Washington. University Place being kind of by Tacoma, Washington, suburb of Tacoma. But yeah, like I said, with the day scheduled like I do tomorrow, might as well just record my video for that day prior and then post this from that day. So I'm gonna walk around Issaquah for a little while. Might not be a long video, and tomorrow on my actual look, rabbits. Can't zoom in. There's a couple of rabbits right there. There's one right there, one over there. Anyways, gonna go ahead and walk around. And if I end up, I'll probably end up doing a little bit of recording on the actual day that this video is for. But we will see. As of recording, right now it is about 6:51 p.m. So I got all day tomorrow to do a little bit more recording. And then once I get done with all my deliveries for tomorrow, I will go ahead and edit my video together. Sound transient. Sound I haven't heard in a while. But as soon as I get all my deliveries done for tomorrow, and I have some more video clips recorded, I'll go ahead and post the video for Friday after I get done delivering tomorrow. So let's go walk around Issaquah. To tell you the truth, I've actually never really walked around Issaquah before. This is the farthest north in Washington State that I've come up in a very long time. Last time I was here to visit family was when 2020, summer of 2020, when my little sister got married. And even then, the farthest north I went up was Federal Way, Washington, my hometown. That was my hometown. That was the farthest north I went. And I lived about half hour, 45 minutes south of Seattle. So we didn't even go to Seattle at all. I mean, usually when we come up here, we go to a Mariners game. Grew up going to the Kingdom, seeing Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner, Randy Johnson. Kind of grew with them as part of the Mariners team. 2020 was a shortened season. I think it was only a 60-game season that year because of COVID. So we didn't get to go again that year. When my sister got married that year, I think they were still trying to determine whether or not they want to have a baseball season at all that year or just cancel it altogether. Usually if I ever came up to Issaquah, we were just driving through. We never really got out to go check it out a whole lot. We did go to Lake Sammamish when I was a teenager. Me and my cousins used to go to Lake Sammamish all the time, ride my cousin's boat. Because he used to have a dock out in the middle of Lake Sammamish, so we used to go hang out at. And that's pretty close to Issaquah. But I think other than that, that was the closest we ever got to spending any time up in the Issaquah area. I may have mentioned this in prior videos before. I really miss how green Washington State is. Down in Utah, it's all dry and brown. Parts of it you get like some treed areas, but nothing like this. Doesn't like what it is in the Pacific Northwest. Once you get closer to like the Dalles, Oregon, and keep going, that's when the trees start kicking in, like Biggs Junction. I was up there recently. You see that in a lot of my more recent videos. Won't be going there much more come within the next month or so, probably a couple weeks, because the company I drive for decided to go ahead and change things up for us Utah drivers, or us drivers based out of Utah. So yeah, if you couldn't already tell, this video is mostly gonna be like a walk and talk type of video. But yeah, from what I understand, by the way, some of the things I talk about are not going to be secrets, or the company secrets. This is just something that some of us drivers have been told. And I know that there's a lot more information that has not been given to me, but I feel like the information that I have been given, I think it would be okay to talk about. So the way my schedule has been working up until just like this point, I may have spoken about this before, I may have not, or I may have hinted at least towards some of it. But let's see, no one's coming. Yeah. But the way they had things go for us Utah-based drivers is, well, with my schedule, I would start my week off doing a Utah route. I would start off by doing a Utah route. Sorry, nice lady let me cross. Anyways, yeah, I would start off by doing a Utah route where I do some stops like in Logan, Ogden, you know, northern Utah, almost Idaho. That's where they would mostly have me go and deliver. Logan, Ogden, Layton, you know, basically places north of Salt Lake City, basically, is where I would work on Mondays and do my deliveries. And then I'd park somewhere up there. If I had time, I'd park close to my last stop. Let's see, this is stuff about Western Washington I missed, just finding little alcoves like this. Anyways, yeah, and then once I get done with my last stop, if I had a couple of hours left of drive time, I would drive to the nearest Love's gas station. I would park there for the night, so that way I could get out of the truck, walk around a little bit, and go take a shower if there's a shower provided at the gas station. And Love's gas stations, there usually are. And then Tuesday morning, I'll probably wake up at about 5 a.m. and do a pre-trip, and then start making my way up to Ridgefield, Washington. Now, Ridgefield, Washington is about a 15-hour drive from Salt Lake City. I may have explained this before, but I'm going to go ahead and rehash it again. Truck drivers, CDL truck drivers in the United States, a little bit different in Canada, not a whole lot, but I'm going to go off of the United States laws and regulations for us, because that's where I'm based out of. I am an American citizen, so I have to follow the American law, as long as I'm in the United States. So I'm allowed to be on duty for 14 hours a day. And of those 14 hours, I'm allowed to drive for a total of 11 hours a day. Now, in order to use up the entire 11 hours, I'm allowed to drive for 8 hours, and then I have to take a half-hour lunch break, which is included as part of my 14 hours. And then once the half-hour break is up, I get the additional 3 hours, totaling 11 hours. So once I leave Salt Lake City, I have about 11 hours to get to where my next destination could be. Alright, so now I'm sitting down at a picnic table. I had to stop because my face is getting a little itchy. I have hay fever, so if you hear me sniffling, you'll understand why. So yeah, I have 11 hours total to drive. And usually on Tuesday mornings, 5 o'clock, I leave around Salt Lake City and drive for as long as I possibly can. Usually what I do is I get up to Nampa, Idaho, park there at the Walmart there, take my half-hour break. Usually by the time I get there, I have about an hour and a half left until I need to take a break, but I kind of figured that's a good place for me to go and park, because I can go and, you know, go shopping at Walmart. I can go pick up groceries, use up my half-hour break to that, get out of the truck, walk around, grab some groceries for the week, so that way I have something to eat, so I'm not grabbing fast food all the time. And then once my half hour is up, I got about 5.5 hours left of drive time for the rest of the day. And it doesn't sound like it's a whole lot, but 5.5 hours can actually cover a lot of ground when I'm driving, especially in a truck, as a truck driver. So what I do is I drive for about an hour and a half, and I pull over at the first rest stop there that I can. After an hour and a half, I go to the bathroom. I do that for like every hour and a half until I get to Boardman, Oregon, spelled B-O-A-R-D-M-A-N. I know it sounds like Portland, so I had to spell it out there. Boardman, Oregon, where there's a Love's gas station there. And I park there for the night, and I have to stay in either sleeper berth or I have to stay off duty for a total of 10 hours. Once the 10 hours is up, I can start my next shift. So that's what I do. The next morning is Wednesday morning usually, and by this time I have my next load ready to go, waiting for me to pick it up in Ridgefield, Washington. So by this point, I have about 3.5 hours left until I can reach Ridgefield, Washington. And once I get there, I get to the distribution center for the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm not mentioning the name of the company I drive for, because Dollar Tree is our customer. We deliver for them, but I actually drive for a different company, but we have an account with Dollar Tree. So I deliver to Dollar Tree stores over here. And then anyways, once I get up to Ridgefield, Washington, I get there, I drop off I go check in with the security shack, drop off I pick up the paperwork for my next load, and then I go unload the rollers that I have in my truck. And then I do a post trip on the trailer, and then I drop off the trailer, unhook from there, turn in my paperwork that goes for that trailer, sign it all off, and then I turn it in. And then I talk with the dispatchers, ask if there's anything they need me to do, is there any new information I need to know about what's going on, stuff like that. I'll get back to that later on. And then I go and drop off my empty trailer, and I pick up my next load, which is usually either in Western Washington somewhere or Northwestern Oregon somewhere. Eugene, Bend, Corvallis, usually in that area when it's down to Oregon. And since I've been coming up to Washington, it's mostly been like Western Washington, like the Peninsula, Aberdeen, Shelton, Olympia, Tacoma, Western Washington. The area I kind of grew up in, Kent, this whole area. And then Thursday, if I have a couple hours left over, I drive down to Napavine, Washington. I always say Idaho, but Napavine, Washington, which is about an hour away from Ridgefield, Washington, because usually I haven't enough time to get to that point. I park there, I stay there for the night, take a shower, do everything I need to do, eat some food, and then the next morning, after my 10 hours is up, I drive the remaining hour and a half left until I get down to Ridgefield. I drop off the empty trailer I have, and then I pick up my Monday Utah load, and then I just drive all the way back to Utah. Usually on Friday I drive as far as I can possibly go. Usually I'll get to like Bliss, Idaho, where I made the decision to do this daily vlog just randomly. Came up with it as but I want to see how far I can make it for these daily vlogs. So that's where I decided to make it that. It's proven a little bit difficult as a truck driver because you're seeing a lot of the same places, recording a lot of the same things. Thing is, with my videos, I might be using a lot of be using some older footage for a lot of stuff, or I might be using new recordings of some places I've already recorded before. Thing is, I have different things to talk about on a daily basis, so that's why it makes it a daily vlog for me, in my opinion. So I usually get back to Utah around like mid-morning, 10, 11, 12 o'clock even on a Saturday. Get home, take over the watch duty for the kids, and my wife goes to work for the rest of the weekend. We make it work though. We make things work for her. We always prioritize our time with each other when I'm home and she's not working. We always prioritize our time for each other. You know, so that way we can always have our family time. And also with our kids too. We always prioritize our family time. Anyways, then so back to today, I guess 2 days ago as of the posting of this video, I get to Ridgefield, Washington, and they tell me that they're going to start sending me out, instead of having me come up to Washington, they're going to start sending me out to Missouri. Being the type of person I am, I'm not a fan of transitioning. I don't like change. I like changing things, but after giving it some thought and some talking it through in my journal, I usually get through and things get better. You know, things will start making sense, and then it's easier for me to deal with the more time I think about it, the more I talk it out in my journals and stuff like that. But honestly, for the last 3 or 4 years, coming up through Idaho, going to like Idaho Falls, Boise, Nampa, Pocatello, even up into Montana, has been a major, huge role in about the past 4 years that since I've become a truck driver. I'm actually going to miss going up to, you know, all these stops I used to go to all the time, all the routine I had. I'm going to miss that all. I've had 3 out of the 5 driving jobs I've had coming through Idaho, so I know all the stops, and I'm going to miss coming up here. I don't know if this is going to be permanent, where they're going to have me going to Missouri. I don't know. I don't know if that'll be permanent, but we'll see what happens, because last time I had to do this stuff like this, before I was doing my daily vlog, I spent about 6 weeks going down to St. George, Utah, and down into Kingman, Arizona, right off of Route 66 through Las Vegas and stuff like this. That's like where you see some of the footage from Las Vegas. That's where that came from during that trip. It's just that I recorded a lot of it. I didn't use a lot of it in videos back then, but I'm kind of going back to my old B-roll footage, using like older footage I recorded from like when I was not YouTube anymore, and using that as my video for the day, just adding narration to it. But yeah, anyways, so that's supposed to start up in about 2 weeks. Next week I have Thursday and Friday off from work, but they're gonna have me, Dollar Tree's gonna have me do a Tuesday load in Utah, in Orem and Linden. I got the 2 stores in Orem and 1 in Linden, which will work out perfectly, because one store for that, one of the Orem stores is like literally like 2 blocks from where I live. So, and since it's a Tuesday load, I can go up to Salt Lake City on Monday, like Monday morning sometime, and go pick up the tractor trailer up in Salt Lake City, drive it down to Orem and park it there. If theoretically, I don't know I still don't know what stop I'm going to first, but if it's the stop I'm going to that's close to where I live, I'm definitely going to go ahead and pick up my truck in Salt Lake City, park my truck there, because they know they're okay. The people that work at Dollar Tree, they're okay with it. They usually let our truck drivers park there. I've been to that store before, and then I'm going to go ahead and park there, walk on home, because it literally takes like 5 minutes for me to walk home from that store. And then the next morning, go out and make those deliveries. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to get back up to Salt Lake City the next day, or until the next day. But I do think I'm going to have enough time to go and drive back to Orem, because Linden is literally like, the Linden store that I'm thinking it might be is about 10 or 15 minutes from where I live. But I'm going to go ahead, and if I have enough time, I'm going to go ahead and park at the Orem store close to where I live, and walk home, go take a shower, and be home for the night. And then next morning, I'm going to drive my truck up to Salt Lake City, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and bring my son with me. I think I will. I mean, obviously, if it's okay with the company I drive for, if it's okay with them for me to bring my son with me, then I'll bring him with me. And then on our way home, we're going to figure out the whole Switch 2 stuff, because I plan on getting, I don't have a Switch 2 pre-ordered, but if I pick up, I'm going to record the events of that day doing the whole Switch 2 thing, and if I can pick up a Switch 2, well, I'll pick it up from the GameStop in American Fork if it's at all possible, or document my journey there that day by trying to go out and get a Switch 2. And then Thursday, if I was able to get my hands on a Switch 2, I'll do an unboxing. But if I have not been able to get a Switch 2, I'll figure out what I can do. I'll vlog about, I'll go out and video something else, or I'll try to call up a few GameStop stores to see if they have any left over that I can go pick up, and then that will be my Thursday vlog. Anyways, 10.5 minutes. So this is gonna be a long video just in chat, but that's I kind of want to do something like that just so I can have a video ready to post and upload for Friday, because like you know, tomorrow being the 29th, I have a little subtitle or caption at the beginning of the video saying it'll be for Thursday, May 9th. Even though I'm recording on this little section on the 28th, it's still going to count for the 29th, because I'm going to be recording some video clips that I will be using as a picture-in-picture. Those are the clips I'm actually recording on for the 29th, thus making it officially a video for the 29th. Anyways, that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about for today. Probably at the end of the day tomorrow, after I get done recording, or after I get done unloading, I'll probably record a few more clips to talk about how the day went, and we'll see. We'll go from there. Then Friday will be a drive day. Friday will be a drive day. Hopefully I can make it to Napa Vine tomorrow night. Stay there for the night so I don't have to drive so much, or as much on Saturday. But yeah, Friday will be a drive day. Saturday will be a half drive day, but getting home. Saturday might be a short one too. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, then we'll go on from there. I'll bring up to that point next week. And I've already kind of given you a heads up about what's going on next week with the Switch 2. And then my work schedule, trying to get my hazmat endorsement going on. So yeah, we will go on from there. Anyways, I'll check back with you at some other point.
Everybody watching has to subscribe. Subscribing is cool. Thanks.